Thanks. Joining me now in Higgins Hall is newly elected SGA President Taylor Snook and Vice President Mallory Zeman. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
You won the election with 65% of the vote, which is pretty impressive. How does that make you feel?
It's very, very exciting. It really shows that our mission, what we're hoping to accomplish this year, was reciprocated by 65% of the student body, or those that voted. It showed that students wanted to be heard, be safe, be involved, our motto for the year, and that they were reciprocative of kind of our goals for the year. So like CPR classes, continuing the What's Happening at Ambrose, and expanding student discounts.
So what motivated you guys to run for SGA President and Vice President?
You want to go for it first?
I wanted to run for Student Body Vice President because it just gives me an opportunity to be a voice for students who may not feel like they have a voice on this campus, and just to make a difference. Between me and Taylor, we've got a lot of things we want to accomplish, and being in these roles, it gives us the position to be able to do so. So I'm excited.
Yeah, for me, this desire kind of starts like way before I was at Ambrose. So I'm very service driven, and that kind of started back at home where I serve as a volunteer firefighter and emergency medical responder for our local fire protection district. So it's kind of that same heart of service that took me through high school leadership positions, and then it's now taking me here where I found the opportunity to be on student government and now run for the student government president that we now hold. It was really just a way to give back to the students, serve the students, and be a voice for the students in the larger aspect of here at Ambrose.
So how did this pairing come about? So how did you decide that you're running for president, you're running for vice president?
Well, it was a lot later decision than it was, I feel, last year. I kind of just asked Mallory, I'm like, would you be interested in running with me as my vice president? And it was a very short conversation, just kind of passing, a little 5-minute conversation. But at that moment, we knew that we wanted to better Ambrose. We both had the same kind of goals in the past as our freshman year. Senators advocating for more AEDs on campus, advocating for student safety. So we both had the same groundwork, and that really carried us knowing that we would be a good pair and would be able to work together for the same goals.
I wanted to run for Student Body Vice President, and I was gonna ask Taylor, but I actually got too scared. But then he asked me, so it all worked out.
It worked out nice, didn't it? So what message would you have for the students that didn't vote for you?
It's totally fine. Obviously, our goals may not be for everybody, but I would hope that what we will accomplish will better their lives, better their student experience. So while it may not have been the outcome that they wanted for their candidates, I pray and hope that we are able to accomplish something that leads to their satisfaction, their enjoyment, and their betterment as a student experience here.
I think just even if they didn't vote for us, like that's totally fine. But we're still here for them, and we still want to hear what their concerns are to make a difference and make sure their voices are heard.
That's great. So you guys kind of already mentioned this, you said you're a volunteer firefighter. So you both already have leadership experience. How will that shape your approach as president and vice president?
Absolutely. So everything we've done up to this point in our lives has shaped us for what we want to accomplish, where we are right now. And it really just gives you a framework, gives you a groundwork of how you're going to accomplish these things. So kind of like the biggest things we learned from those past leadership experiences is falling back on your support system. So here in this position now we have our advisors. So whether it's Dean Waugh, Jason Richter, those are all great people, great resources to bounce ideas off of. If you have a plan, so for example, we want to bring a CPR certification course to Ambrose hopefully next year. Just like a one-night thing, but actually implementing that will be hard. You're going to have to reserve a room, going to have to deal with the financial aspect of it, as usually it's like a $12 fee depending on where you go. And all those things are things that you have to go through with an advisor so they can guide you and really just help develop you as a leader in that sense.
And I think, like Taylor said, all of the things we've done, all of the leadership experiences that we have had have shaped us into who we are. And I think really in my time, right now I'm serving as a peer campus minister, and that role has helped me to meet so many people. So that will benefit me as student body vice president, but also being in those different leadership positions has given me so much confidence in myself and as a leader to just go out and talk to new people that I wouldn't normally find myself talking with. So
That's great. Student voices were a big part of your campaign. How do you plan to actually hear from students on a regular basis?
Absolutely. So obviously we're in this position because the students felt their voice could be heard with us, but actually implementing that throughout the year, making sure they're not lost in all the commotion, can be very difficult. So kind of like a few ideas we floated around from our peers, ideas they've had. One of those possibly being like a bi-monthly or maybe monthly town hall where the students can come in, hopefully have some sort of food. A lot of that is budget depending, whether we have budget increase, those sort of things. So having a town hall where they can come get some food, let their voice be heard, if nothing else, just connecting with the student body. That was a major idea. And then the other one was just having some sort of Microsoft form or something where students can give us feedback, give us suggestions for events, concerns they might have, just really ensuring that they are and will be heard.
So how do you ensure that you're representing the needs of all students, not just the most vocal groups?
I really think that between both of me and Taylor's involvement, we have a lot of the campus covered. So we're both very involved on this campus, and between both of us, we know a good majority. So I think that will be very beneficial for starters.
Yeah, but really just kind of exactly what she said. Like I'm involved in the track team, resident advisor. I'm the director of Beat Readers, all ways to have outreach, connect with students on campus. One of the biggest things I kind of tell people about campaigning is we had a campaigning period of 3 or 4 days this year, but that campaigning really starts the minute you step onto the campus here at Ambrose. Are you going to be outgoing? Are you going to be connecting with your peers in your residence halls? Are you going to be joining clubs like student government and connecting with your peers that way? And it's really that, even though you may not be hearing from those students most, they still see your face, they know they can come talk to you, and they know they can connect with you.
So not all students are on campus all the time. So how do you plan to reach students who don't typically engage in SGA?
Absolutely. So one of the really great things we have on SGA is a CNT senator. So that person kind of deals with transfer students, the commuters, and that person is the outlet. That person is the one that students can connect with their concerns. Obviously, if we see those students here on campus, we hope that our face has been known well enough where they can connect with us, but we always have that individual here on campus ready to connect with those students.
So what challenges do you anticipate in the upcoming year, and how will you handle them?
Absolutely. So there's obviously challenges no matter what you are going to do. I believe that the largest challenge is simply just implementing what you're going to say to implement. Because when implementing events, implementing action, those things take time, those things take coordination. And kind of like we touched on a little earlier, really just leaning back onto your senators. That's why you have those senators, that's why you have your executive board. Just leaning back on them, leaning back on your advisors to divvy up tasks so you can make sure you are constantly taking steps towards your goals.
Just to add on to that, some of the things that we want to accomplish this year are going to take a lot of time and a lot of energy. So I think just time, energy, financial issues that may come along, like what we've been talking about is having a CPR training class. That's going to be, once it's on campus, it's going to be great, but implementing that is definitely going to be a challenge. So.
Is there anything that you're hoping to achieve by implementing something like that?
Absolutely. So kind of the be safe aspect. That was something we kind of noticed here on campus that kind of lacks. So we put all these new AEDs in on campus. Obviously, it's very, we believe it's very easy to use, but until you're actually in the situation, a lot of it gets lost because of the chaos. One of the biggest things with medical emergencies is the bystander effect, where everyone believes somebody else will step up. So our goal with this is to equip every student or as many students as feel comfortable to take steps in wanting to keep one another safe. That really just comes from, once again, back at home where I'm a volunteer firefighter in EMR, just being able to be the one to step up in times of need.
Perfect. Well, Taylor, Mallory, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. With SAU Weekly, I'm Bradley Thiessen-Cooper. Back to you in the studio.